Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about a recent war of words that have seemed to erupted between US President Donald Trump and the Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So it seems that though ceasefire has come into force between Israel and Iran, and more specifically can say between US, Israel on one hand and Iran on the other side, after US struck Iran with the B-2 bombers, dropping supermassive bombs on the nuclear enrichment facility centers of Iran as such. But though it seems that the hot war has ended, what we have seen is the eruption of war of words between these two leaders. So let us try to understand how this war of word is being played at a diplomatic scale or at the bilateral scale between Iran and US as such. Now, initially, if you talk about Donald Trump, he has scoffed at Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran. As we know, Iran is an example of theocratic state where supreme leader is the most powerful politician, or what you can call as a political person in the Iran as such. So he has given a heated warning as to the US to not launch future strikes after the ceasefire. After this, Donald Trump also has attacked him by posting on Truth Social as such. Now again, as a response of this scathing attack by Donald Trump, Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi has stated that American president, if he has any hope of having any kind of possible nuclear deal with Iran in future, he must put aside the disrespectful and unacceptable tone toward the supreme leader, as he has stated that all people of Iran, all the politicians of Iran, administrative officials of Iran, even military of Iran have a huge and immense respect for Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and any remark against him will obviously bring wrath of the entire Iranian administration and what you can call as military as such. Now, if you look at the post of Syed Abbas Araghchi, who is the foreign minister of Iran, he has clearly stated that if President Trump is genuine about wanting a deal, again same thing, that he should not be disrespectful toward the supreme leader Khamenei, and also he should stop hurting his millions of heartfelt followers. Because again, if you go back few days back or a week back, there was a very good chance that US and Israel would want to topple a regime, the theocratic regime of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He has, or we can say Ayatollahs have had power over Iran since 1979 Iranian Revolution, when the Shah Raja Pahlavi was ousted from power as such. And since then, Iran has converted into more radical, more conservative and more theocratic state as such. So the hint was there also that he might be removed and he might face the same fate as was met to Saddam Hussein few years back as such. Now also he has stated that the great and powerful Iranian people who showed world that Israeli regime had no choice but to run to daddy. Now see, this is the kind of scathing remark. The war of words when we talk about, it is not just dialogue, it is not just what you can call as rejoinder, but it is also a kind of term and the words that people choose, the leaders choose to attack against each other. So basically, he has claimed, Iranian foreign minister has claimed that Iran forces and military capability was something that has led Israel to understand that Israel will not be able to win a war against Iran. That is why they have no other chance, Israel have no other chance but to run to US, and that is only when US entered the war, it used the MOP, okay, that is the massive ordnance penetrator, MOP bomb, GPU bomb that we have talked about before. Then only war came to an end, or basically ceasefire came into existence as such. So this is also a kind of power projection we see by the Iranian foreign minister. Now also we have to understand that if you look at the last statement that the foreign minister has given, he has stated that if illusions lead to worse mistakes, again he is referring to that if US and Israel again target Iranian geography or Iranian what you can call as territory, if they again launch any kind of missile attack, Iran will not hesitate to unveil its real capabilities. We have seen in the last phase of war, Iran has begun to use its medium range to long range ballistic missile. It has used Sizzle missile, it has used Fatah missile. So it will certainly end any delusion about the power of Iran. That is a message again coming from Iranian foreign minister research. And the reason is because again I told you that apart from Sizzle, Iran also used Fatah missile. Fatah missile is considered as a hypersonic missile, and for the first time we have seen a firing of hypersonic missile by Iran over Israel. And Israeli anti-defense system, air defense system we can say, basically failed to intercept that missile because of very high velocity, high speed. And this missile is known for its high speed, precision and ability to change its path during the flight itself, and that makes it much more difficult and complicated for any air defense system, no matter how advanced air defense system is, to basically neutralize it in the air itself. And that is why the impact of this we can see over over the region of Israel, where large scale damage has resulted because of this. Also, as Iranian Foreign Minister has hinted that Iran will not shy away from using its full military capabilities in its arsenal if again attack resume. An example of this we can understand from the fact that Iran has developed large number of missile of different capabilities over the last period of 30 to 40 years. So, for example, again, Cecil, as we have discussed, is one of the most potent missile that it has in its arsenal. It has used it again over Israel. But there are several other long-range missiles as well. For example, if you talk about Somar, which has a range of about 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers, we know that just before war came to end, as a counter-retaliatory measure of the American attack over the Iranian nuclear reactor, Iran also has targeted country called as Qatar here. If you look here in this area, you have Qatar nearby to the west of UAE, and in the Qatar, Iran has targeted US military base. The reason is because now, if you look at the missile ranges of Iran, it is able to cover all the way up to northern Africa, and then further to the east, you have China. Then further to the south, if you look at, interestingly, entire India actually is in the missile range of Iran as such. So that is why we have to be careful about the Iran-Pakistan alliance, because a much more stronger Iran-Pakistan alliance can also be something that we have taken into consideration whenever we have conflict and war with Pakistan in future as such. Now we know that in the beginning, Iranian Foreign Minister also has said that Israel could not have won war with Iran without American help. And the example of this we can see from the simple fact that though in the initial days, Israel has stated that one of its intended goal is to completely decimate and destroy Iranian nuclear enrichment facility, so that Iran is not able to build any kind of nuclear weapon in the future. But we know that some of the nuclear sites of Iran, such as Fordo, example, is buried deep inside the earth. For example, Fordo Nuclear Enrichment Center is believed to be somewhere 300 feet below the surface in the hills. And Israel, if you talk about, did not have any capability that it can destroy those bunker-like structure. And that is why Israel needed the help of US, where B-2 bombers that America employs in its air force would have dropped GBU bomb, or the massive ordnance penetrator bomb, and that has actually changed the entire result, or what we can say, a culmination of war in the favor of Israel and US as such. Now also we have to understand that the reason why Israel is worried, because obviously Iran has, from very beginning of the creation of theocratic state under Ayatollah Khamenei, has stated that its goal is to completely destroy the state of Israel, as it is an illegitimate state. It did not have any right to exist in the region. And that is why it also has focused on building of nuclear weapons and large-scale missile capabilities, drones and all that. And this was point raised by the then Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, who is also his current Prime Minister of Israel, in the 2012, when he was referring to, when he was in the United Nations for annual summit, he has stated that Iran already has reached the second stage of nuclear weapon development, because enrichment is up to 90%. And this is the reason, this is the pretext he has used to rationalize and to justify his attack against Israel as such. Now, Iran also has hinted that as a people, our basic premise is very simple and straightforward. We know our worth, we value our independence, and will never allow anyone else to decide our destiny. Now, this is again a hint toward a possible regime change, where again, though the war has ended, it seems that Donald Trump and even Benjamin Netanyahu has clearly stated that it will be in the best interest of Iranian people as well as these countries if Iranians are able to overthrow Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's regime and replace it with some other government as such. So this is something that again Iran has said that they will not involve themselves with, and they will decide their own fate or future without any foreign interference as such. Now we have discussed that again as a response of the Iranian Foreign Minister's statement. Donald Trump again has said directly to Khamenei that you are a man of great faith, a man who is highly respected in his country. You have to tell the truth. You got beat to hell. Now, Donald Trump again, as we know, he also has taken the credit for the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Again, has taken credit for the ceasefire between Israel and Iran as such. And one reason we can understand is simply because Trump wants that Nobel Peace Prize very, very badly. And that is why he has also been nominated. So he wants to ensure that everyone across the world is able to get a clear message that it was American involvement that has led to beating up of Iran, that has led to what you can call as like de facto defeat of Iran, as we can say. And this is something that he's trying, this is point that he's trying to put forward at every opportunity he get, whether it is G7 summit, whether it is NATO summit, and all as such. Now again, this is to some extent true as well, because I told you that the Fordo, as you can see in the central part of Iran, you have Fordo, which is a nuclear uranium enrichment plant. This could not have been destroyed by Israeli Air Force. They did not have such kind of bomb as such, and that is where America has to get involved as such. Now, if you look at the future ahead, now Trump is giving a conflicting signal. On one hand, he has very clear terms stated that Ali Khamenei, they have the know about of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. They could have killed and assassinated him anytime, whenever he wished, and but he did not want so. So he is trying to present a threatening tone as well. On the other hand, recently also he has explored the possibility of economic incentive for Iran if they halt any kind of nuclear enrichment, which might lead to development of nuclear bomb in the future. On the other hand, he also has said that we are able to, we will be willing to release billions and billions of dollars, which has been frozen due to sanctions imposed on Iran, and those assets and money will be available for Iran as such. And tentative proposal would also allow Iran to receive assistance from regional countries to enable country to build a civilian nuclear program. That is where both of countries, Israel and US, agree that they did not have any problem if Iran is using nuclear technology to build a civilian nuclear program. Civilian nuclear program basically means use of nuclear fuel or uranium for peaceful purposes, such as generation of nuclear energy as such. So Iran, if this what you can call as proposal goes ahead in the future, if there is any such kind of detente as we have if we have expect in the future, then in that case Tehran can access as much as $30 billion for its civilian nuclear program. But again, to what extent the diplomacy take root between Iran and US, to what extent Donald Trump is willing to cede and give concessions to Iran, because again, if you go back to the Trump 1.0 presidency, we have seen Trump unilaterally pulling out US from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, that was what you can call as a nuclear plan and program and deal that was between Iran and the P5+1 countries. P5+1 countries, that is permanent member of United Nations Security Council, and then you had Germany there as well. So basically, he has pulled out in the Trump in his first presidency, and now he's again trying to give certain concessions to Iran. At least proposal is currently what people are discussing about and talking about. But still, it is in very nascent phase. We have to wait, and see that just because recently war has ended, at least it will take a couple of months to diplomacy again to take root, and then how the entire situation unfold, we'll have to wait, watch, and see. So that's all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more such content. Thank you very much.